What up, guys? Today we're doing a video on my 1 year review on the Z650. This is my first bike, and I have about, whenever I got the bike, I reset the trip on it, and I have right there 1,700 miles in about a year, which, you know, isn't a lot compared to other people, but I really try to ride when I can with my schedule and everything. Okay, first impressions about this bike. I think this is a perfect beginner bike in terms of you've never ridden a motorcycle before and you're just starting out. Because yes, it is considered to be in the middleweight class of motorcycles, but it's not as aggressive, I'd say, as those, compared to like the MT-07. It's pushing the least amount of power in its weight and its class, and so that's why I think it's a really good beginner bike. But you know, it all goes for what your budget is and what you know. Do you have any discipline on handling the throttle? Because this thing, it's the lowest of the class, but it can still get up, you know? Like, let me check. Gotta throw the visor on. But yeah, I really like this bike. I love the Tsugomi art style that they put on the Z. Wasn't really a fan of the pre-2020 one, you know, with the Volby headlight, just like the MT-07. Not a fan of that personally. So I really like the styling they did with this year. And this is a 2020, so I got it right when they did that design change, which I'm happy about. Now, when I was buying my first motorcycle, I wasn't looking for a Z650. It was kind of something I just stumbled upon Marketplace, and I think you guys should look at it that way as well. Like, you might have a bike in mind, but you might never find it in terms of Marketplace, and I really do recommend getting a used bike for your first bike, because you might want to upgrade and you might not want to stick around with that bike, or you know what I mean? So I just recommend you just get a used motorcycle and bring someone that you know about motorcycles, so they know you're not getting ripped off. That's what I did. I brought a friend that already rode bikes and told me, yeah, this is a good bike, you know, nothing seems shady. I'm like, cool. So I paid $4,700 for this guy, and for about a year, I feel like I've got my money's worth out of it. I don't know how long I plan to keep it, but I don't have plans of selling anytime soon. But I do look at Marketplace a lot for if there's any deals, and I have seen some deals, but I don't know why I look at Marketplace. I don't even want to buy a bike right now, but just it's instinct just to look at Marketplace for some reason. But yeah. People ask me from time to time what kind of bike they should get, and I would recommend this one. Honestly, if you have like a Ninja 300 or Ninja 400, it's fine and all, but it's more about convenience at the end of the day, and I feel like you're not really going fast enough, you know, to need those aerodynamic fairings, and they take up a lot of weight and space, and it's a pain if you need to do maintenance on it. You got to take apart the whole bike just to do an oil change on it or whatever. Whereas a naked bike, everything's exposed, so you don't have to do anything really. And that's why I love these naked bikes, man. They're perfect for street riding. And they're track capable too, I've heard. I plan on doing a track day later this year, my first one. And so I'm gonna record that and see how that goes. But yeah, man, this is a nice little bike. I really recommend it. Like I said, I paid $4,700 for it. I don't know how much they usually go for, but I feel like I got a good money's worth on it. Had 19,000 miles on it. Yeah, and the gas mileage isn't bad either. Let me check my range real quick. Yeah. See, I average around 43 miles per gallon, which is pretty good. And I'm not riding, I wouldn't say I'm riding super aggressive, but I'm not riding pedestrian either, you know? I just pick my moments, you know? I'm not pushing it all the time, but I have my moments. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed this bike, man. It introduced me to riding, and I don't know if I plan on selling it soon or not. Because I feel like I can still have so much fun with this bike. I'm not bored of it or anything. You know what I mean? I'm not bored of this bike. I feel like that is the social pressure and social trap that you feel like you need to upgrade a motorcycle. But at the end of the day, you really don't. And I think this is just perfect for the street, perfect middleweight. It just all depends on your budget and everything, you know. This is what I could afford at the time. I was looking at an MT-07 for about $1,000 more, but I really couldn't cough up $1,000. And if you want to save more money to get a different bike, or you know what I mean, just save money to have a better bike at the end of the day, that's fine too, you know. I just really wanted to ride at the time, and I hopped on a deal that was available. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, when I first got this bike, I was low-key scared of it. And now it's kind of like I feel one with the bike, and I know its inputs. I've learned the bike in a specific manner. You know, I'm not perfect, but I have a good feel for it, and I think that's what it is. If you're intimidated, it's okay. It's normal. And actually, to be honest, I was scared of riding. Like, it wasn't fun for me in the beginning. I mean, it had its moments, but I was just so afraid of crashing that I couldn't enjoy it. But as time goes on, you know, you learn to be comfortable with it. And oh man, this thing is just so light, you can just whip it around. That's a good thing about it too, with the naked bikes, that, you know, you don't have the fairing weights, you know, so the bike is naturally just lighter. Got the little roundabout. Oh man, bikes are so fun. This is such a fun hobby. I know people, like I said, I was scared in the beginning, but you know, you grow a tolerance over time, you know. First you ride on the neighborhoods, then the streets, and then you get brave enough to go on the freeway, and yeah, there's levels to this, man. I don't recommend going all out, you know, getting 1,000 cc and heading straight for, you know, the freeway. It's not smart, in my opinion. You just gotta take these things one at a time. What's the rush? You know, you have your whole life to live and to enjoy motorcycle riding, and I really just think you should take it slow with this kind of thing, you know. People that are scared of riding, they get scared, and when they crash early is because they go too fast, buy a bigger bike, or you don't even have to buy a bigger bike, just they go too fast, don't know proper cornering or how to look through the turns, and they end up crashing. They don't understand the brake pressure on their bike, and they get scared and sell it. And that's just a damn shame, because if they just took it slower, took their time with it, I really think they'd be able to enjoy this hobby. Like, when I'm saying I took it slow, guys, I took it slow. Like, for the first 3 months, I didn't even touch the freeway. Like, that's how slow I was. Stick to your streets, man, so you feel comfortable. What I did when I was first learning is I had this on-ramp by the house, and then I just go on the on-ramp and I go straight off. I don't merge on. I just go on and then straight off. And it's like an exit that no one really takes. I don't have to worry about it. No one merging into me. So that's what I'd recommend doing if you're trying to get to that freeway level, one at a time. Also, with these newer bikes, man, they're coming out with these IMUs and, TFT display and all these rider aids, and I'm really glad I got this bike, because the only thing it has is ABS. That's it, boys. No traction control, no wheelie control, no launch control, whatever, no riding modes. And I think that's the perfect way to start, because you need to get comfortable with your bike and not rely on these electronics. I got so many bugs in my visor, bro. If you're a new rider and you're just trying to get comfortable, find a road. Find a road that you can get familiar with, and learn the grooves, learn the corners, learn where the bumps are, learn where not to ride on. Get a feel for that. Get a feel for the road, because when you start riding, you'll realize, like, man, I didn't realize that pothole was really there in the car, but I realize it now on the bike. So yeah, like this road right here that I'm taking right now, this is the road I'll always take. This was my learning road. It's nice, it's windy, it's fun. But man, these bikes for the middleweight class, these bikes are pretty cheap, man, compared to the MT-07s. I see these bikes on Marketplace all the time, man, and they go pretty cheap for what they are. I feel like you're getting a lot of bike out of it, and the MT-07s, I feel like, can get expensive, because I feel like they have a cult following behind them. For example, like if you're trying to buy a Grom, you're paying like $3,000 for it. Whereas you see the Z125s, you could get them for as low as $1,200, $1,500, And that's why I like these Kawasaki's, man. People sleep on them, and so that's the deal for you, man. And I've done mods to it, it has good aftermarket support. You don't have to worry about that. It's just fun. California, baby. But yeah, man, I'd get this bike. It's really slept on. Out in the wild, I've only seen this bike once, and no one's even a 650. I think it was like the new 500 one. It had the different Zagami face on it. In terms of maintenance, I haven't really had any problems with it. I did some changes to it right when I got the bike. We changed the air filter, changed the chain, oil change. Whenever you get a new bike, at least do an oil change. You don't know how long they've been using that oil, man. Always do an oil change. I am due some new tires, so yeah, that's my next thing. I need to get some tires for the bike. There you go, bro. You got a brother. We got a brother. Giving me the 2 fingers down. Ain't that awesome? See that black cat crossing the road? I don't believe in superstition, so I'm chilling. I am watching out for that cat, though. I don't want to hit it. I feel like this bike is torquier than what people say it is. It's pretty torquey, man. He wants to go, I was jerking the throttle right there and it wants to go. It's happy doing this, you know? And listen, this is an okay bike too if you want. Like if you've already ridden before and you have like a little 300 or 250, like this is a good second bike too, man. Like let's say you have an NCO3 and you want to upgrade, this is also a good way to go, you know? But this is just, I think this is a good naked bike, man. People sleep on it, to be honest. Oh, I hate this road, bro. It's so bumpy. You know, it's not horrible. The suspension on this is like relatively soft, but still. This bike could eat bumps pretty well on the softer side, you know. Does it mean you should? No, I would try to go over things if you can. I mean, they could eat the manhole covers, you know, but I wouldn't, like, I'm just going over them, but I probably shouldn't, to be honest. I like to use them as little obstacles, you know, like I'm dodging them, weaving them, you know. The cop was looking at me, bro. I don't know why. I didn't do nothing. Oh, I get turned. Wasn't paying attention to that. Alright guys, we're gonna do a 40 to 80 pull. Oh, past 80. Yeah, man, this bike is relatively fast, man. This bike is fast, man. It can get up to highway speed more than capable on the highway if you're wanting that. More than enough power. There's power in here, man. I don't want to hear anything about the 650 not having any power on the freeway, because it does. And, you know, of course, it's a naked bike, so the wind's hitting you. But, man, personally, I like the wind, man. That's part of the motorcycle experience, in my opinion, is the wind. And yeah, I mean, I've never ridden a bike with fairing, so I don't really know the comparison, but I just like this feeling, man. It feels nice. All right, guys, let's get these downshifts right here. Boom, 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 boom. I'll just go to first right here. Fine. This is Z125, man. Oh, that's a Grom. One thing about these bikes, man, is they're handlebars, so they're super maneuverable. You have a lot of leverage in terms of maneuvering. I forgot that I did ride my buddy's Z650 one time around the block, and I remember the clip-ons being, maybe I'm just not used to the riding style, but I could get used to it, but it was just a lot of weight and pressure on my wrists, and just the stance was uncomfortable as a whole. That's the thing, man, it's just not good for city riding, and that's what a lot of people on the street do most of the time, unless you're like only highway, you know, maybe the sport bike is the option, a little sport touring or something like that. But for my kind of riding, the Z, the naked, it's it, bro. Alright, let's do another highway on ramp for you guys. Oh, fuck up the shift. Rider error. Okay, once you hit about 100 miles an hour, that's when you start feeling the wind. That's when the wind gets a bit much for me. One thing the Z has that I realized, first gear, throttle's a little jerky. Like it's just a little jerky in general, and so I know I thought about getting this bike flashed, and it helps smooth it out, but overall, stock it's a smooth linear experience for me. It's just that first gear, if you're trying to stay in low RPMs, it just gets a little jerky. But yeah, when I get a flash, I'll do a review on that and see if I feel a difference or not. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna start heading home now. Yeah, man. Riding is beautiful. Get a bike, no matter what it is. But this is just what I recommend. You know, I'd say an 8.9 out of 10 experience for this bike. You know, no complaints really. Yeah, that's gonna be about it. Let me know if you want to see more content related to the Z. And yeah, that'll be it. I'll see ya.